Alrighty, thanks again for coming back. So today I have a couple good ones. So I have two more stocks that carry pretty high dividends. They're going to be up in that 8 to 9%, somewhere in that range. And they also have some upside. So go ahead and stay tuned and we'll dive into them and we'll show you what these are all about. All right, so last time I did this, a lot of people commented me. They like kind of the dividend stocks. And again, I'm not telling anyone to actually invest in these. I'm just opening people's eyes and showing you what's available out there. But one of the stocks is going to be basically, they invest in energy and like basically natural gas and then also water. So it's kind of one of those type of companies, but they're very targeted. They don't have like a lot of different clients. They have very few big clients. So it's a little bit more risky. But that company carries around, I think it's a 9.45% annual dividend, which is really high. And then the other company does basically data protection, artifact protection, and things like that. They basically have been around for a long time. It's a company you probably all know about. And they carry about a 7.75% annual dividend, which is huge. So again, these are companies I'm going to go through. I'll show you guys some charts here on my screen share. But I mean, these are companies that you have to do your own research on because there is some upside to them, I think. Obviously, depending on the economy, these can also be affected. Dividends are going to be probably, you have to look at the research of those as well. Hopefully they'll stay up at these levels. These are pretty high levels. But let's go ahead and dive in here and we'll take a look at these stocks and let me know what you guys think. Obviously, post comments. Let's get some discussion on these. Let people, like if you have some negative feedback or some positive feedback, put it in the comments. And then people can use your feedback and actually we can kind of create a community on these stocks. All right, so let's dive into the first one. The first one's going to be one that a lot of people may not know about. It's going to be the Oasis Midstream Partners LP, and its actually symbol is OMP. So it's OMP. It's $19.04 as of today. And I want to go through this one because it's a little bit interesting as far as the dividend yield on this. This one's going to get, again, it's something that's founded in 2007 out of Houston, Texas. And basically, I'll go through what it does in a second, but I want to just kind of go through its historical chart here and kind of show you what it's all about. This is over basically year to date. Year to date, it was around $17. It's up around $20, $19 right now. But here's the key down here. I don't know if you can see this, but the dividend yield on this one is a 9.45%. So really, it's a high dividend. And obviously that opens up some eyes there because a lot of stocks, very few stocks have that much of a dividend. So it does, it does have some risks as well because of that high dividend. But if you look at this, if I go to the max, it's had its ups and downs. It's basically back down here. It started in 2017, which was only a couple years ago. So it's a fairly new stock that you can invest in. And then obviously in December when we had that big downturn, it went from 20 down to about 15.30. So again, even though this looks like a huge drop, it's not, this is actually 14 down here. It's not 0. So the drop actually was only about, it's still about 25%, but you can see that it recovered pretty quickly. And then we're now back and having a pretty positive year for the year in 2019. So again, this doesn't have a ton of history behind it. So you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt. We only have a couple years here. But the dividend's really high, and you can see at 9.45%. The market cap's $643 million, and the P/E ratio is 5.52. Just some numbers there. The 52-week high is 24, and the 52-week low is 14. So really quickly, here's their website, Oasis Midstream Partners, and the symbol is OAS, just to give that to you one more time. And they basically, if I go down here, what they do basically in a nutshell is we operate a diversified portfolio of mainstream infrastructure assets in North America. With the current focus on the Williston Basin, we offer basically full-service mainstream solutions to customers covering oil, gas, and water needs. So natural gas, crude oil, and water. They do the gathering and disposal of produced water and freshwater distribution, which is going to be really important in the future. And then they obviously do natural gas and things like that. So check them out. I heard that they only invest in, they only have a couple big key partners that they actually are dealing with, unlike some other companies that may have hundreds. So it's a little bit more risk here. That's probably because of the high dividend, but they think it's obviously going to be pretty high at least for another couple years. It's just hard to say where the stock's going to go. So do your research on that one for sure. All right, and so the second one's going to be one everyone's heard of, but probably a lot of people have never thought about investing in. It's going to be Iron Mountain. So Iron Mountain's a stock that's pretty attractive as far as looking at its history and then also looking at its dividend. Really quickly, it trades at $31.54. Here's its 5 years. It's basically stayed pretty stagnant over 5 years, $26 to about $32. I guess that's an upside there. But the attractive part here again is the 7.75% dividend, which is a really high dividend for a stock like this because it has been very consistent. Let me go to the max. Now this has been around for a number of, I think it's in the 90s. No, actually I think 1950 something it actually started. But I'm going to go ahead and click the max here. If you look at this max, obviously you can see way back in 1996 it was around $2.95. And look how consistent this thing has shot up. Even during some of the recession years, I mean, obviously you have to have a stomach to stomach through some of this stuff during these recession years, but look at the overall trend. It's pretty big, and it's got a 7.75% dividend. Obviously do your own research. I'm not telling you to invest in this. This is just something that obviously I'm looking at, and it's just one of about 10 key factors you want to look at. But at least take a look and start researching this before you buy it and see it might be a good one for you. So Iron Mountain, obviously it's headquartered in Boston. It's about $3.5 billion. Its market cap is $9.05 billion. P/E ratio is 25.99. Number of employees is 24,000. So basically, what do? Here's their website. You probably recognize their logo up here. It's, obviously you see that on trucks a lot and things like that. But it's pretty straightforward. I mean, they're founded in actually 1951. They have 225 organizations, 225,000 organizations that they work with. So it's a really diverse place to actually that they offer their services to. And they basically, let me see here. Basically they protect billions of valued assets. So they really protect assets, including critical business information like data, highly sensitive data, cultural and historical artifacts. And then they provide solutions that include information management, digital transformation, secure storage, secure destruction of information, data center information, cloud services, and art and storage logistics. So basically, you've seen them. They collect documents, they destroy hard drives, they do everything in between, and they've built this into that big of a company, which is pretty amazing. And they have that 7.75% dividend stock as of today. So obviously, that's going to change. But basically, and then one thing about this really quickly, if I go in here, let me see if I can actually go and find out where we want to find this now. Over here, if I go into stock information, I think this is kind of an interesting thing. Down here at the bottom, they show you, so if you would have invested, let's say, in the S&P 500, and then you also invested in this stock, and let's say you did it since January 1st of 1995 till today, and you put $10,000 in, and you invested it. This is going to be hard to see, but I'll tell you because it doesn't get any larger, but I'll go ahead and show you. So $10,000 in against the S&P 500. Let me go ahead. And what it is basically here is over that course of the time, if you did the $10,000 investment, today it would be worth $190,000. The S&P 500, basically $67,000. You can see here, if you can see it, it's way higher, well over double, almost triple the amount that you would have invested. That's actually with reinvesting dividends. If you don't reinvest dividends, it's worth $170 or $54,000 for the S&P. So with reinvestment of dividends, $10,000 investment back then would be worth $190,000. So obviously you can see it's a great stock, kind of interesting. And do your own research again. I have no idea where this is heading, and you have to go in and look at their financials and look at their business plan and things like that. So, but it's something to open your eyes with. Alrighty, so those are the stocks I picked for today, and obviously go ahead and do some research. Again, my channel is really just about opening eyes. If you watch videos like this, you're going to see what's out there. You're going to see what's available for you to buy. I'm not telling you to buy these. In fact, a lot of these ones I talk about, I don't own. I look at, sometimes I buy them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I buy them for a year, then I get out. It just depends on the situation in the market. But definitely take a look at things, and it opens your eyes to know that they're out there. You can go your whole life without even knowing a stock exists, and it can be a great opportunity as well. So go ahead and post comments, like I said. Let us know what you think, and we'll go from there. Oh yeah, and then one thing to let you guys know about too, I post about 2 to 3 videos a week, but if you could please help me out and subscribe to my channel, maybe hit the like button. It's going to help me out a ton. I want to keep making these, but I got to get the subscriber base up. I think I'm closing in at around 200 subscribers now. Somewhere I'm just shy of that, but help me out if you can, and click the like button, and we'll talk to you guys in a week.